Hey guys, what's up? Today in the Brick Lab, we're going to be turning Andrea's party palace into Tony Stark's Malibu mansion. I will admit that I did take quite a bit of creative license with the idea, and you do have to use your imagination to see the full resemblance, but I feel like removing the rainbow palette from the ends of the building helped, and definitely makes this thing look a little bit more like something Tony would have actually lived in while he refined his Iron Man suits. So our first stop where Tony welcomes us into his home is going to be in the front patio here, which used to be the front pool. We cut it out and replaced it with this front patio here, which gives Tony a whole lot more room to party it up, so that's something that he's definitely not going to be complaining about. Speaking of parties, I also cleaned out the soap suds that were in the jacuzzi and replaced them with blue and clear studs just to more accurately represent water. And then in a little throwback there, you'll notice a donut on the table, which is a little reference to the second Iron Man movie. And then if we spin around to the other side here to the little kitchenette area, I removed most of the garish colors and just tried to give it a more subdued color scheme. And while I was at it, I also recolored the piano so that it would more closely match the scene where Tony unveils Barf and turns yet another nerd into a lifelong enemy. And visiting the living room upstairs, we can see the scene of yet another conflict where Obadiah Stane stole Tony Stark's pacemaker, and Pepper had to do a little emergency heart surgery here, and also where Tony dodged missiles like he was in the Matrix. Or not. And then moving over to the bedroom, you can see the place where Tony does his best interviews.
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
And let's go ahead and move up to the roof now. As far as I know, there really wasn't too much that took place on Tony's roof, so I really didn't have much to go off, so I just basically minimalized it again by tearing out all the stuff that didn't really fit in. And then moving all the way over here to the other end, you can see we turned that into yet another little party hangout spot. We have a little couch, a table, and then just a little fire pit there. So taking the elevator all the way down to the basement reveals my favorite section of the set, Iron Man's Hall of Armor. A lot of the details from this area of the build do come from the 2022 Hall of Armor set, so if you want to know where all this junk comes from, that's pretty much it. I left the interior, as you can see, very sparse, and left pretty much all this stuff out here just because I figured if you're doing anything with this space, you're pretty much going to be doing it out here anyway. It's not going to be an easy area to get a hold of. And then you'll also notice that I only used half of the units for the Iron Man suit storage, so if you want, you can use the rest of the ones from the set and expand this section either up or to the side, whichever you prefer. I also attached these units to the side of the mansion using a little clip here just so that they're actually part of it and not just floating off to the side. That just really bugs me, having too many things that aren't attached to the actual set, but I mean, kind of ironic that I did that then. There is one little last feature down here that I do want to point out to you besides the red Marvel extinguisher and Iron Man's little racing trophy there, and that is this little drawer here, which used to be a pull-up bed in the original set, but I'm using it as a place to store all the power bursts that are standard issue with every single Iron Man minifigure now. Now at this point you're probably thinking, wow, that was a really nice tour, that was a lot to take in, but what about the garage? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. I did make some changes here, like replacing that rainbow colored archway with just standard white, and oh yeah, I also changed the car that's inside the garage. Instead of that teal and pink monstrosity, we now have this white convertible from the 2022 Armory set. I didn't entirely scrap that teal and pink car, instead what I did was just change the color scheme on it to make it a tiny bit more realistic. It's basically like Speed Champions Jr., what with all the different techniques they use to kind of give it the shapes. But I don't know why I'm rambling about the car. That's really not why we're here. Alright, that is it for our tour of Tony Stark's Malibu mansion. Tony has his cheeseburger now, so feel free to take a seat, make this thing less formal. Yeah, that's really all I have for it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick look, and hopefully you were able to forgive all the glaring inaccuracies, because obviously, again, this thing is not actually based on Tony Stark's Malibu mansion. It's just a few modifications here and there just to bring it more in line with what I think his mansion would look like if it got turned into a set by Lego, which it more or less has. But anyway, yeah, that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, you already know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that other good stuff, and we'll see you next time.